Moving the carburetor from our Grizzly 125. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take this big plastic bit off right here on top of the fuel tank. So that's going to be held on by this, which looks like a 10mm. These two 10mm bolts, and it looks like it should just pull up and come off. So I'm going to take it off real quick, and then I'm going to see what I got to do after that. Now I got everything off. I'm going to have to take off the front rack, which I believe is 5/16. Yep. Pop that off. Nope, not 5/16. Now that you've got that off, that, and that, you're going to want to take these off to pull this whole front thing off to get to a little screw in there. So I'm going to take those off real quick, like that. Alright, so now that this is all out, it's gotta be hung up. So I scoot it out the way. Now we can get to that. Get this out of the way. Alright. Put my gas tank cap back on. Nope. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, so clean that all out. Now I'm just going to take off the tank, which they got 2 bolts right here. Plus these 2 bolts that were here that also held on that piece of plastic. And I'm just going to kind of leave this here because it's not serving any purpose right now. So take these off. They look like 10 mils. Turn your bars so you can get your drill. Do the same for the other side. And you want to turn your fuel off, which I believe I already got a clip of doing that somewhere. And disconnect your your throttle, your fuel cable here, fuel line, not cable, fuel line. Well, disconnect it from the carburetor, actually. That'll make more sense. Okay, so now that your fuel's disconnected, take your gas tank out the way. Actually, yeah, take your gas tank out the way. Lift it up and out. Get your bar straight, it'll be easier. What's still got me connected? Oh, this little line, whatever the heck it does, no clue. Just pull it out the way. Okay, so now we can actually get somewhere. So, let me get you a better view, because this is what y'all came here for. So, this is your air box, a little bit of carburetor, and your header. So, right here is your throttle cable. So, unlike the other carburetor, to disconnect this one is very easy. Just twist it, twist right here on the silver bit, and it's gonna come right out. Super easy, nice. Oop, and here it is. First time this thing's seen the light of day. Never been taken apart. But anyways, so this is your needle, and when you give it throttle, give it some gas, it contracts that needle in the slide here, and then it pulls it up, and like that. Alright, so that's off. Now here's your choke right here, which we're also going to have to disconnect. And for this, let's see, you're just going to have to untwist this, and it's going to slide out the bottom. You can see right there, they got an opening, and you untwist this, and it's going to slide out. So I've got my crescent wrench now. Take this off, and it's going to slide right out the bottom, I believe. Okay, so once when you got your carburetor off, you can slide that off. So now you're going to want to take your studs off right here, and then loosen up this band around your intake here. And while you're at it, you may also want to take your air filter cover off and just see how it's looking. But here is the screw to undo that, and here is the bolts, the nuts to get that off. So yeah. So your little studs right here that go right there at 10 mil. So you're just gonna wanna loosen them like that, and you also loosen your band right here. And I'm also gonna take off this boot, this sleeve, and take off my air cover, and I'm gonna see what my air filter looks like. And that's also going to make taking the carburetor out a bit easier. And just if you didn't know, this is where your air intake is. It goes down through your filter and goes through into your carburetor. So, yeah. Okay, so oil filter is air filter. It's definitely a little bit nasty. It ain't perfect, but it's definitely not awful, but it's not good, but it's not terrible. And I also have a decent amount of oil in the bottom of my air filter box. So don't know what that's about, but it's also coming in. No, that makes sense. It's coming in from the crankcase breather, and when that's running really fast, might also shoot up a little bit of misty oil through this, which also feeds into the air box. It hooks up right there. So that makes sense. And considering that we haven't taken this off in a very long time, I'm not surprised that they have a good amount of buildup in there. As you can see, good amount of oil in there. I'm not worried about it now. So now that I just thought it through, so now my pretty little carburetor comes off like that, and now I can get this out, and my overflow is caught somewhere. Yep, just get the overflow out, or unplug it, and yeah. So, oh Lord, a lot of fuel, and yep. So now we're gonna go inside and clean this little sucker up. Alright, so same protocol last time, just the only thing I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to spray the outside down with carb cleaner, because this is disgusting. So it should eat away all of that grime pretty decently. Let me cover the area up that we don't get carb cleaner everywhere. Yep, got most of it off pretty well. Alright, can see what I'm working with now a little bit better. Just dealing with that. Alright, so now I'm just gonna take off these to get to my float bowl, just like the other one. Alright, see how easy this is. Yep, knew that was gonna happen. Yep, that's all of them. Alright, so for this, in this situation, get yourself a rubber mallet and be very gentle with it, but don't be shy to hit on it like that, and it should just crack right open. Oh my god. Wow, this is nasty. Look at that, got some freaking dirt on the bottom. Yeah, this thing's nasty. I believe that was there before, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go look back on the footage to see if that came out of here. But actually, it's pretty darn clean considering that we haven't taken this thing apart in so long. So just follow the same protocol. Push the pin through to get your float out. Like that. Needle is in excellent condition. Still feels rubbery. Float is fine. Put that over there. That over there. This over there. Okay, so for now, for this, you just... Oh wow, this is very similar to the other carburetor. Okay, so now you're just going to want to take this off, pilot needle, and that other small needle there, pilot jet, another jet there. Sorry, I keep mixing those two words up today. And do that real quick. Okay, so now we're just going to line it up with the light like we did before. Oh wow, can't really see anything through it on the camera. Let's see if I can in person. Very, very small hole, very small. Blow through it with carb cleaner, then your compressed air. Alright, and you could do it with the compressed air. I'm going to just do it with my mouth. Just blow through it. Yep, much bigger. You probably can see it on camera now. Yep. So this one was definitely clogged up partially. Now let's see about big boy here. Okay, so when you're cleaning these, you're always going to want to clean all of these little holes on the side, because they have a purpose, and if they're clogged, then it's not going to run right. And luckily for us, they're all clean, and our pilot jet is is pretty tight. It's a pretty small hole. Much better. Oh yeah, much better. Before, I couldn't even see a hole through it with my eyes. And now there's a nice clear hole through it. So, I'm just going to blow everything out like I did before. And blow the outside of this carburetor, because it's disgusting. And yep, I'm going to keep all of my clean parts over here, because I don't want them getting all funky. And I'm going to blow this off a little bit better too. I'm going to get a little brush. I'm going to scrub it off, making that look nice and pretty. Once I got most of the grime off, I'm just going to kind of get the stuff that didn't come off with that with the paper towel. And it ain't got to be perfect. I don't really care. I just don't like my carburetor looking like dirt. Alright, so that's a lot better than what it was before. So put that over here. Now I'm going to do this. And I still need to spray out the inside, but I'm going to do that after I spray this, because I don't want to clean the inside before I clean the outside with the potential of getting some crud on the inside. Oh yeah, this carburetor is nasty for sure on the outside. Pull this off, get it out of my way. Get all of that nastiness in there. Get in there. Now you see why I wanted to put all my clean stuff over there, because all that mud is coming off. Don't want that getting in my clean jets. Alright, so now that the majority of that is off, I'm going to throw this away. Not the carburetor, this, and get me some new paper towels, because this is nasty. Okay, so now I'm going to clean out the inside. Same deal as I did last time. Clean out all the jets. Okay, that's clean. That's clean. Where's my fuel line? Nope, that's it. Okay. Float bowl. This. Alright, so everything's nice and clean. I'm going to put everything back together like I did last time. Make sure y'all can see this. So, big boy went right here. Little fella went in here. I'm barely tightening this, guys. I'm barely tightening it. I really don't want to over tighten this stuff, because I know what it does. Trust me. Do not over tighten them. Put my float back in. Get my little pin. Line everything up. Oops. Alright. That's good. Don't have any other jets lying around. So now, I'm going to put my float bowl back on. And so this hole right here is going to line up with this right here. So that's going to go on like that. And so if you're ever putting one of these back on and it's kind of hard to get on, don't jam it on, please, because you're going to break your carburetor. If you just maneuver it around a little bit and slowly put it on, it's going to go on. If it came off, it's going to go back on. You just don't want to jam it, because then you're really going to break something, and that's not good. You don't want to break anything. Alright, tighten everything nice and snug now. Okay, now I can just reinstall everything back on the four-wheeler. This little carburetor, super simple, not hard at all. So yeah, that was basically a wrap for this carburetor, for cleaning it. And I'm just gonna go put it back in, and everything should fire up and run great. Super simple little carburetor, this one is. So yeah. Cleaned off the fuel tank a little bit, and now I am putting in the carburetor, and also cleaned out the air box a good bit too, because that was all the oil that was in it. And probably why it's in there is because I like to pop wheelies on this. But after I finish filming this, I'm also gonna film another video changing the oil out of this sucker, and that shouldn't take long. So I'm gonna finish putting this carburetor back in, and it's really easy. It's just the same way you took it out. So I'm gonna catch you up when I am done with this, because that's basically it. I mean, showed you how to take it out, showed you how to clean it, and you just put it back in the same way you took it out. So as long as you didn't lose any parts, y'all should be good. But thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I know I haven't really been posting much this summer, just I've been busy with work, and the only reason I'm really doing this right now is because I'm sick and I have nothing better to do. But I love doing YouTube. I just don't think about it, don't have the time for it. So yep, thank you again for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time.